Welcome back. Well, at times when our country needed it most, our flag has given us hope.
But our next guest says that when he first saw that iconic photo of the firefighters raising the flag out of the smoldering rubble on 9/11, it brought him comfort that we would prevail as a nation.
Yeah, but now, on the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, his Massachusetts town is refusing to raise that flag. Joining us now is Amherst resident Larry Kelly. Larry, nice to see you this morning.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, you're fighting all of this. The town board has decided that only 6 times a year will they allow the flag to be raised on utility poles. First of all, what's behind that decision, and what are you hoping to change?
Well, we had an infamous meeting on the night of September 10th, 2001, to discuss the placement of the flags, how long they would be up, and it was a packed meeting. There were probably 60, 65 people at the meeting, which is tremendous turnout for a little select board meeting, and a little more than half the people in the room wanted the flags up a lot. A little less than half in the room wanted them up a little or not at all. And the select board came up with a compromise and allowed them up on 6 occasions, such as Veterans Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July. As a matter of fact, they're up right now for Labor Day. But at that meeting, we had a famous statement was made by a UMass professor who dubbed the flag a symbol of terrorism and death and fear and destruction and oppression. It is nothing to be proud of, end of quote. And, of course, that quote was picked up in the aftermath of what happened the next day by the front page of the Wall Street Journal. You folks talked about it. CNN talked about it. It probably got in front of 30 million Americans, and I think it made the town look horrific. But anyway, they've come up with this plan of only allowing the flags up for those 6 holidays.
And Larry, that's a great backgrounder. Let me just say that what their suggestion is for September 11th, your town of Amherst, Massachusetts, is only to fly it every 5th year. So in other words, not
Correct.
this year, but they would fly it again 2016. What do you say
Correct.
to the people who don't want to see it this September 11th?
Well, I say that we remember Memorial Day every single year, and Memorial Day is a somber occasion. And I personally can't think of any more somber occasion than 9/11. So if we're going to put the flags up for Memorial Day and hold other services that we do on Memorial Day, we also do that on 9/11. Why don't we fly the flags on 9/11? And, I mean, do you really want to be remembered as people who think that 9/11 is only worth remembering 1 out of 5 years? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's absurd. And everyone I talk to say, why is this even a question? Why
Right.
is this even a question?
But here's what the board says to that, Larry. They say, our board represents the entire community, and there's a difference of opinions within the community. Have you really heard from other residents that honestly believe that it should only be flown once every 5 years?
Other than the 2 board members who told me that Monday night, no. The story is picked up dramatically over the last 3 or 4 days, and I've had nothing but positive feedback. Nothing. I mean, I think the Springfield Republican, the 3rd largest newspaper in Massachusetts, did a pretty big story on it Tuesday morning that you folks picked up on your webpage yesterday, and there's well over 100 comments attached to that story right now from the general reading public, and I think 100% of them are saying, what are you, crazy? You got to be kidding me. Why aren't you flying these flags? This is absurd. And what makes me nervous is some of the people are saying, I'll never set foot in your town again. I'm never going to shop there. And that's just not fair. I mean, the town, I think, if you took a poll today, would be overwhelmingly in favor of flying the flags. As a matter of fact, the firefighters union had a meeting in the last couple of days, and they voted unanimously to strongly recommend that the flags fly every single 9/11. And obviously, who was more impacted than firefighters? They lost 343 of their compatriots that day. I mean, as you said in the promo leading into this, I still vividly recall that day, either later that night or early the next morning, when there was so much depression and there was so much horror, and to see that photograph of those firefighters, and here these firefighters had been spending the entire day looking for victims. At that point, CNN, Fox, everybody was reporting possibly 10,000 citizens were dead, possibly over 1,000 firefighters were dead, and these guys were exhausted. They'd been looking all day. They hadn't found anybody, and what did they do? They put up an American flag, and I think that brought comfort to the entire country.
Larry, wow, so well stated and so emotional. Thanks for reminding us of how we all felt on September 11th. And let's hope that your town can find some compromise on all of this. We'll look forward to hearing what happens in the next week or so. Thank you, Larry Kelly.
Well,
thanks, Larry.
They are meeting again this coming Monday. It'll be the 11th anniversary of that infamous meeting, and I'm hoping that they will change their mind and fly the flags.
Good. We will look forward to the outcome of that meeting. Thanks,
Larry. Coming up